Now, let's talk about the trading style. Now, maraming klase ng trading style or way for you to trade. Meron tayong scalping, day trading, swing trading, and position trading. Usually sa scalping, mabilisan lang yan. So, if you don't have a lot of time, you may consider scalping. Or sa day trading, if meron kayong time to chart and ayaw nyo rin na mabagal yung or mag-hold ng position for quite a long time, then you may consider day trading. While sa swing trading naman, if you are or if you prepare na mas longer yung trade nyo, then you may consider swing trading. Kasi sa scalping, usually, it takes about 30 to 1 hour or even lower bago mag-hit yung take profit nyo or bago mag-close yung position nyo. Sa day trading naman, usually within the day, and sa swing trading, usually it takes about days to weeks. And then sa position trading, weeks to probably months, depending on the trade or the volume as well. Now, it's important for you to understand kung ano rito yung suitable para sa inyo. Kasi you have to consider your availability and your preference, diba? Preference as a whole. Kasi nga, let's say, hindi kayo available most of the time, then probably you may consider scalping, ganun. But even though scalping is fast and probably pwede kayong matempt considering na gusto natin ng quick profits, you have to understand as well na sa scalping, since mabilis ang trades dito, you have to be careful in trading. Kasi pwede kayong ma-engage siya or ma-tempt na mag-overtrade. Since mabilisan ang close ng orders, probably marami kayong magawang trades within minutes, hours, or within the day. So, ang tendency, pwede siyang mag-lead into burning of account or masunog yung mga account nyo, diba? So, if you prefer scalping, then make sure that you have a system that is working as well as you have the control kung kailan kayo mag-i-stop when it comes to trading. Kasi you cannot do scalping all the time since wala namang or hindi naman unlimited yung capital natin, right? There's always a limitation sa capital natin. And if we keep on risking lots of money, eventually, if hindi nag-work yung system natin, if wala tayong edge, then it would be hard for us or it would be catastrophic. Diba? Kasi nga, yung scalping, it could or usually, yung scalping is nakakapagsunog ng account. Although, one of the good things na you can do or you can get out of this scalping is the feedback. So, since mas mabilis nga yung way of trading, mas mabilis yung close ng positions, usually sa scalping, you'll get a lot more feedback. Or you would be able to learn faster if you are scalping, di ba? Kasi nga, you are trading most of the time, or probably if not most of the time, mas nahasa tayo when it comes to scalping, di ba? Unlike sa swing trading na probably it takes months or weeks bago mag-close yung position. So, ang tendency, sa isang trade pa lang, let's say 1 week or 2 weeks, isang trade pa lang yun, so isang data pa lang siya. Ang tendency, matagal bago tayo magkaroon ng feedback. 'Di ba? Matagal bago tayo magkaroon ng data. Well, each one naman kasi meron siyang benefits and disadvantages. Now, it's up to you whether you want to do scalping, day trading, swing trading, or position trading. As long as it aligns with your availability and it aligns with your mental framework or how you handle it emotionally, then there's nothing wrong with it. Diba? And generally, risk exposure varies from each style. Since scalping nga, mabilisan, gaya nga ng sabi natin kanina. If you wanna stay long in the game, make sure na you are risking lower than the swing trading, di ba? Kasi nga, since you can do much or many trades sa scalping, you have to adjust your risk exposure. And you can do that by reducing your value at risk. Okay? Now, let's talk about the types of analysis. Now, we have different types of analysis as well as different types of trade or way of trading. We have the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, and the hybrid or mixture of both. Yung pagkahalo nitong technical and fundamental. Now, sa technical analysis, usually ang inaaral natin dito is price, how price behaves, basically price action. Yung structure niya, whether higher highs, higher lows, lower highs. And indicators such as RSI, ganon, or any other indicators or patterns, usually, nabibilang siya doon sa technical analysis. While sa fundamental analysis naman, ang pinag-aaralan natin dito is news, the macro, the tokenomics, the adoption of a token, of a coin. Now, we will go back doon sa Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving, dito siya nagpo-fall sa fundamental analysis. Kasi nga, the way it's designed is to beat or probably a store of value, di ba? Not necessarily beat, but as a way of storing value, a deflationary currency. So, since yung design niya is to make it scarce or meron lang siyang fixed or limited supply, but the demand is continuously growing, it falls under the fundamental analysis. The reason behind it. Now, the hybrid or mixture naman is incorporating or aligning the fundamental analysis with technical analysis or vice versa. Now, there are some cases or there are some people who likes to align these two. Well, usually, kapag nag-align tong dalawa, mas maganda or mas malakas yung confluence. Kasi nga, let's say, what you are seeing sa chart or sa technical analysis is a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? So that means that it's bearish. And let's say, meron tayong potential na fundamental analysis, potential na bearish, di ba? So considering na nandito na yung price and nag-align itong dalawang to, then you took a short position, then mas mataas yung or mas maganda, mas mataas yung chance na mag-go siya the way you want it to, diba? But It doesn't happen usually. So, most of the time, they rely on the technical analysis. Basically, that's the types of analysis. Now, why do you think all of this is important? The trading style, the types of analysis. Why do you think it's important to understand and choose for yourself kung ano yung gusto nyo or ano yung way nyo when it comes to these styles or analysis types? Simply because the market is subjective. All we know is that, or most of the time, we are trying to make it objective, right? But we have to understand that the market is subjective, meaning there is no right price. So, if the other person sees the price as worth it, let's say, si person 1, nakikita niya yung isang price as $1. But, sa tingin ng isa, value siya at $1.10. So, sinong tama? Si $1 ba or si $1.10? The answer is both of them, di ba? Because the market is subjective, meaning walang maling price or walang tamang price because the price reflects collective belief and perception. Meaning, kung ano yung nakikita natin, kung ano yung nakikita ng ibang tao is based on their interpretation sa market or their belief, their perception. So just because tingin niya $1 lang yung price or he wants to buy at $1 and ito naman si seller gusto niya ibenta at 1.10 dahil sa tingin niya mas tama yung or mas akma yung price at $1.10, then they have different perception, di ba? Which makes the market subjective. And every trade is an opinion backed by money. Di ba? Kasi nga, si buyer and si seller, they were negotiating kung ano yung gusto ni seller at yung gusto ni buyer. And since they are or their trade is an opinion backed by money, so pwede silang mag-take ng profit or losses dito. So ang tendency, nagkakaroon ng negotiation. Nagkakaroon ng fluctuation sa price sa market. And different traders see the same chart differently. Kasi nga, the market is subjective. And since the market is subjective, we have a collective belief and perception. So ang tendency, nagpa-fluctuate up and down yung price ng certain coin or ng token. And just because you see the same chart differently doesn't mean that one of you is right. Diba? And that's why we don't argue with the market. Kasi nga, there is, or the market is not objective, but rather a subjective place. And since the market is subjective, and it is, or the price reflects collective belief and perception, there will come a time na we have to accept our losses. There will be losses. We cannot avoid losses. And that's why doon napapasok yung risk management. Since walang uncertainty sa market by the random walk theory, and the market is subjective, hindi natin alam kung kailan tayo matatalo, di ba? Kailan tayo magkakaroon ng losses. So, ang kaya lang natin gawin is to manage those losses, those risk of losses. Diba? So, if you don't know kung ano yung types of analysis or way of trading na suitable sa'yo, then you have to understand na kailangan mong i-explore yung iba't ibang way of analysis or yung ibang way of trading. Kasi nga, for you to have an edge with the market, you have to know yourself. You have to assess kung saan ka nga ba komportable or kung saan suitable yung edge mo, right? Now, you have to choose a style that fits you, understand how money is made, and be your own edge. Kasi if hindi mo alam or hindi mo ina-assess yung sarili mo kung saan ka nga ba komportable or kung saan nag-work yung way of trading mo, yung edge mo, then probably mahihirapan ka. So that's it for this way of trading and the types of analysis. See you guys sa next video.